Good morning, GRAR members. This is Scott West coming to you from our studio here at GRAR. I am with the Vice President of GRAR, Pam Van Leuven-Peters.
Hi there.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
It's a treat.
Pam, please give us a little insight as to what you do in your personal time when you're not here at GRAR, and then tell us a little bit about your role here at GRAR.
Sure. In my personal time, I actually moved within the last year or so up to the Canadian Lakes area, so I have a bit of a commute now to GRAR, but fortunately that's working out well, and I split my time between there, and for those that know me well, I spend a lot of time in the UP and family's first in free time. At GRAR, I'm your Senior VP. I've been here 37 years. I feel very fortunate to have put down roots at a young age, and I love it. I love the position.
37 years,
Yeah.
Incredible. You don't hear that a lot these days.
No, I feel blessed.
Pam,
Yes,
you wear a lot of hats at GRAR.
I do.
You are the staff liaison for how many committees?
You know,
Ballpark. Can you keep track?
Probably 9 or 10 committees. I jotted them down because I didn't want to forget anyone, because I love the committees and they are the backbone of GRAR. So I staff the Candidate Review and Development Committee, the Crisis Fund Task Force, DEI Task Force, Grievance Committee, MLS Policy, Safety, Regional Forms, and the YPN Advisory Council. And while not the primary liaison,
Wow.
I also attend and participate in the GRAR Board of Directors meetings and the Montcalm Chapter Advisory Group, which is fun because that's fairly close to where I live these days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're busy.
I am busy,
We could
but it's
say-
good busy.
We could say that. So I think all of you guys who have been around GRAR for a while are probably familiar with Pam, have had some sort of interactions given how busy she is and how many hats she wears. So thank you very
Thank you.
much for all that you do for us.
Thank you.
We just wrapped up our October board meeting.
We did.
It went well.
Yes.
There were no fights.
Nope.
Everyone got along.
That's usually the case.
That's usually the case,
Yeah.
which is great. We wanted to go over a couple of the highlights from the meeting.
Yes.
Let's start with you. What was your first highlight?
My first highlight, I think I enjoyed having the newly elected directors at the meeting. So we have Scott Kellogg, Rachel Major, Paul Spica, Lisa Thomas joining us, just newly elected to the board. And while they're not yet voting members, they attend these year-end meetings to get up to speed on issues, and it's pretty exciting to have them at the table. At the same time, it's a double-edged sword because as we know that we're nearing the year end and we'll be saying hello to some new directors, we'll also be saying goodbye to some of our favorites as their terms wind down, and present company included. That's going to be hard.
Yeah.
And I want to take this opportunity while I have a captive audience to say how fabulous it's been having you be president this year. You're so engaging, you're so thorough and thoughtful, and you make sure all voices are heard at the table. And we probably don't say it enough, but we're very fortunate to have you at the helm. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I wasn't expecting that part in our, that wasn't in our outline.
Did I make you blush?
You did a little bit.
Okay.
One of the other things that came up was we recently formed a DR Development and Training Task Force.
Yes.
It's a mouthful. Oddly, we had a visitor at our meeting today who happens to be the chair of that, and so we talked a little bit about it. They've had 2 meetings now, and they're ramping up towards the Master of Brokers Principles reboot that was kind of around the COVID time when we had that, and we're going to see it reemerge in 2026.
Yeah.
Did you have any takeaways from that?
I just am excited about what they're going to be bringing to the table and offering to broker members. For those that hear the term DR often and wonder what that might mean, that's the designated realtor, essentially the person that GRAR considers to be the supervising broker or in a position of authority for the brokerage. And this program helps those brokers maintain legal compliance, minimize liability, and train agents effectively in an ever-changing marketplace. So it's really a great program. When we released it back in 2020, it was really well received. As you all know, a lot has changed since then, so it's time to reboot it, as you said.
It's perfect timing. We've had so many changes in the industry, from the S word that we don't talk about anymore. We've just moved on from it, but that has happened. We had COVID has happened. We have a ton of new technology, including AI, that's happened. There's just a lot of things happening in the real estate world. And so they're taking a hard look at all those changes, and they're going to drop some things from the original, and they're going to add some things and tweak some things, but I think it's going to be well received. It'll be one of the best things that we do next year, in my opinion.
For sure. And something we talk about all the time in new member orientation is the one constant in this industry is change. And the only way to be successful is to keep abreast of those changes. So this is it's a really knowledgeable task force working on this curriculum. So I think it'll be pretty great.
It's an all-star team. Yeah. We spent a lot of time making sure we got great people to make sure that all of our members are going to appreciate, or all of our DRs are going to appreciate that opportunity. And the idea is it's going to filter down to everybody. You know, your DR is where you get your training and where you get that knowledge. And if they're at the top of their game, it's going to help you be at the top of your game.
Absolutely.
Next up, dues are out.
Yes. Membership dues, watch your weekly mailings. There's been a flyer that comes out in the weeklies that explains how much the dues are. There's optional RPAC contribution as well, and we'll probably link that right to this video, I'm guessing.
I think Brittany is going to put a little QR code somewhere here, so you can click on it and get your link and get in and pay your dues.
Great.
So thank you. Also, fair housing and code of ethics requirements are this year.
Yeah.
Pam, this is kind of that time when members start to panic. I haven't done it yet.
That crunch time.
Yeah. Give us some insight on that.
I think the first thing to keep in mind is that time of year. As we near year end, everybody's thinking about what training do I need to take? Do I have my Con Ed hours? Now that's based upon your license date, so it's a 3-year license renewal cycle, and most everybody knows that you need 18 hours of credits over a 3-year period. Those are broken down into elective credits, legal credits, and fair housing. Elective credits can be taken at any time. At a minimum, you must have 2 hours of legal each year and 1 hour of fair housing. And you probably heard earlier in the year and throughout the year that NAR came out with a fair housing training requirement as well. I think that there was some fear amongst the membership as to how do I keep track of all of these hours, and am I getting what I need? As long as you're satisfying your state Con Ed requirements as far as fair housing is concerned, you will be automatically satisfying NAR's requirements as well. And then over and above Con Ed, there's Code of Ethics this year. GRAR has all of its members on the same calendar year rotation, so every 3 years we all take Code of Ethics training together, and this is the year that we're doing that. GRAR offered, I believe, 4 in-person, maybe 5 in-person Code of Ethics classes. The last one's coming up the end of this month, but it is full. But there's also the online version through NAR as well that's available through year end.
Okay, maybe we can get a QR code for that.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can find it in your newsletter. So thank you for filling us in there, Pam.
Sure.
Something else that we've been focusing on this year, we had a salesperson election that just ended a couple weeks ago, and our board had set out this strong desire to increase the engagement. Last year, we had, I think, 5 and 6% for the 2 rounds of voting. That's really low for 2,700 plus members to participate in choosing who their leader is to sit and be that voice for them on the board. So we said we want to do something about it. And we spent a lot of time focusing on it. And kudos to the salespeople, you salespeople who got out and voted. We went from 6% in the second round to almost 15%. A big jump, and we're not stopping there. We hope next year we're going to
set that bar higher.
Get up to 20% or higher. So that's really exciting. And as you mentioned, all of our new directors are already participating.
Yes.
So all the ones that you guys just elected, the 4 of them sat in our meeting this month. They're going to be joining us at our annual planning retreat here coming up shortly. They're ready to hit the ground running, and next year when they get their right to vote, they're going to be ready.
And weren't we fortunate this year and every year to have such a great ballot in each election of candidates who are willing to step forward? I mean, I think I say it and time again that you really can't go wrong. We have so many great members willing to give up their time, and those that were elected surely appreciated the votes and are excited about the journey ahead.
Yeah, and a big thank you to everybody else who ran.
Yeah.
It takes some guts to put yourself out there.
All the phone calls
The effort,
yeah.
the videos, the emails. It's a lot of effort, and so everybody that ran and were willing, we really want to just thank them.
And we ask them not to get discouraged as well, because we talk a lot at the board table and at the candidate review and development committee level about the fact that it's rare for someone to run and get elected during their first run. And while it's disheartening to not be successful in the election, we say don't be discouraged, because most directors at the table ran more than once before they arrived in that seat.
And you're looking at one of them.
Yeah.
I had to run twice before I got on, and it was a little blow to put all that effort in, and you don't win, and takes even more guts to put yourself out there the second time.
That's right.
But I'm glad that we have a really strong desire for people to get involved in leadership roles here at GRAR. Next up, we announced last month on our Facebook Live video, we talked briefly about it here, that we've got a big change coming with West Michigan Regional Forums. And we have the Queen of Forums sitting right next to me, so I'm going to turn the mic over to you for that.
Thanks. I am the staff liaison to the West Michigan Regional Forums Committee, which is made up of multiple associations, and each association has 2 votes at that table. They release their new forms in late January each year. So as we're coming up to that time of year, we're looking ahead to what might be coming down the pike. And there is a pretty major change coming to the purchase agreement in the inspections and investigations paragraph. Currently, if a buyer submits an addendum during that inspections period, the seller has the right to automatically terminate the agreement and walk away, accept a backup offer, or go in another direction. That is going to change starting next year. The seller will no longer be able to automatically terminate. They don't have to accept the addendum. They can say no, they can renegotiate, but they can't automatically terminate. And that really brings us in alignment with other parts of the state and really parts of the country, and brings a bit of good faith to those negotiations. So we're hopeful that will be well received, and depending on who you represent, you might have different feelings about that, but we think overall it will be a good change.
Change for, what we hope is a greater good moving forward. And I know we mentioned it last month, and we mentioned it this month, and we're probably going to mention it next month. We're not trying to be redundant, but it's such a big change that we're going to repeatedly tell you so that you're not caught off guard come January when the change officially goes into place.
And as always the case, in January when we release those new forms, we also release a PowerPoint that you can use in your office meetings that describe all of the changes that were made and provide the rationale as well. So that's just a good educational piece to watch for, so that something doesn't slip past you, because it can have a big impact on what you do every day.
For sure. We are in busy season when it comes to the association. I look at my calendar and there's just things in there every single week for basically the entire month of October.
Yep.
We're going to do a little bit of a rewind here because we've already had a few now that we're halfway through October. We just finished up Rebar.
Yes.
I thought it went well.
Super successful.
Kudos to the Rebar task force. They put in so much
and
work.
Brittany, who assists the task force for all she does. We've been hearing really great feedback about that event. It's always one of the most well-attended events that GRAR holds. I heard that they raised over $8,000 that will be shared between the Crisis Fund and the Schoolhouse Fund. So those dollars will go right back into the community and to help schools and help renters and homeowners who are experiencing disasters. So not only do we have a really great event, it's helping our community as well.
Yeah, it was, I attended again, I don't know how many years in a row, but at least 10 years in a row I've been to this event. I thought it went off terrific. And one of the things that I'm actually really excited about, we always hear this, I didn't get to see that session and I heard it was really great. So we're talking about doing, through the Education Committee, a Rebar Rewind. Hopefully we're able to pull this off, but we want to bring in a couple of the most popular, most well-received speakers and let them come back into GRAR. So if you missed the speaker or you just wanted a more in-depth look at it, it's another educational offering.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think
I'm
it'll
sure
be
there will be enthusiasm for that. That's awesome.
terrific. Another recap, we had our annual broker meeting. We
did.
have it always out in Hudsonville at the Pinnacle Center.
Nearly 400 registrants.
400 people. It was a business meeting, so we handled any bylaw changes. We had elections for next year's officers, which
Yes.
we can announce them
Can we?
right
share
here.
it?
Let's share
do
them.
it.
We have a newly elected president-elect. Who's that?
Laura Featherston,
We have a treasurer.
Corey McGuire,
We have a secretary.
Brittany Arout, and then of course Duffy McClelland, as you know, will be president next year.
Yep, Duffy's going to transition into that role. So we had the election. That was exciting. We figured out who our officers are going to be next year. We also had a keynote speaker come in. That was a big change from what we've been used to.
We've been accustomed to Dr. Bolio
Yeah.
and his economic updates, and we were disappointed when he retired because he's been a bit of a staple
Yeah.
for us over the years. But we wanted to pivot a bit and bring in a new topic, and so we did that with Steve Brown.
Steve Brown, he's an AI expert. I mean, when I say expert, I mean next level expert. He's working for, I think, Google. DeepThink, and
He calls himself a
a
futurist.
futurist, which is a
So,
fun word. I'd
it
like
is.
to call myself that, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case for me.
Yeah, I think he shared some information that probably excited some people and maybe scared some people a little bit, but there's
It's
a lot of possibility that comes with AI.
Yeah, it's the reality of the pipeline we're staring down right now. AI is coming. It's coming fast, and GRAR wanted to lean into that for you guys this year, and so that was a pivot. We probably will go back to some sort of economic update in the future, but this was an interesting take for this year, so hopefully
For sure.
people enjoyed it. Also, we just all got back from MAR. MAR was in Grand Rapids this year, which
It was.
is always interesting.
It is. We hear folks say it's a bit of a challenge. It's exciting to have it in our hometown, and it's a bit of a challenge at the same time because you feel a bit torn between the convention and your family and the demands of your clients. But overall, we love to show off our city and our region, and I think everybody had a really good time. There's a lot of good sessions.
Not to brag about Grand Rapids too much, but I'm going to anyways.
Yes, do it.
I talked to a ton of people at MAR from all around the state, and they all say how much they love it when it's in Grand Rapids. So for them, it's extra special because they see our city as incredibly welcoming, walkable city. They can get out and try great restaurants and get around the city really easily.
Yeah.
So others love coming to visit.
You can feel that energy. at
We
the
take
convention.
advantage. I think sometimes we take it for granted.
Yeah,
and
we do.
yeah, sometimes we sneak off and go show that house or run home or do something in between. But it was a great event. Lots of learning, lots of networking.
Lots of Con Ed hours.
Con Ed, advocacy
Great
stuff.
expo.
Great expo. So MAR happened. Good takeaways from that. What is happening around GRAR over the next couple of weeks?
Gosh, as you said, October is a busy, busy time for us. We call it crunch time. I mentioned we have a Code of Ethics class coming up the end of this month that's full. But we also have, in addition to that, and still has room in it, a educational legal brunch and learn, legal Con Ed credits on title, truth, and tall tales. I think that's the first offering that we've had of that particular session. We're pretty excited about it. October 30 is the Emerge Conference, which will be at Watermark Country Club, and our keynote speaker is Mayor David LeGrand from the city of Grand Rapids, who is very involved in housing issues, and he's going to be discussing affordability, accessibility, and density issues. So we're really looking forward to that discussion. Joining him will be other names that you recognize: Ryan Verwise from ICCF, Joel Reuter from Home Repair Services, and then some pretty fun panel discussions with prior Young Professional of the Year award winners and Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, if you haven't taken advantage of the ambassadorship program, it's really a great opportunity. October 29 is the next session. Session sounds too formal because it's really an opportunity for you to stop by GRAR, pop into the lounge on the lower level, and sit down with directors and talk about whatever you want to talk about, whatever's on your mind.
With the holiday season coming, Thanksgiving and Christmas, we won't be doing one in November and December. So if you haven't got a chance to do it, please stop by this one. Just whatever you want. If you want to ask us questions about a decision we made, why did we make that decision? What led us there? If you want to find out what a path to leadership looks like, it's a great opportunity. We had somebody come last month with that very same vision, and
That's great.
He picked the director's brains and got to know what that path looks like. So please take advantage of that. We've got something else that's kind of exciting this month that you could get involved in. We have a local GRAR member who is up for a national award. This is a really big deal, guys. Brian Bovin
Yes.
is nominated for the Good Neighbor Award. I've been to NAR a number of times, and they have 4 or 5 people to get nominated for this thing, and he's on the list, and he is from
And it means he
GRAR,
can get a significant grant for his charity, which is awesome.
which he'll just take that and do even more amazing things. But you guys can vote, I think, daily for Brian. Maybe we can sneak in another QR code here or a link to vote for Brian, but please get out and vote for Brian as much as you can remember every day if you can. It would be amazing to see somebody walk that stage at NAR from Greater Grand Rapids area and be the winner.
Yeah, it would be great. We're excited for Brian.
We're wrapping up here. Thank you for
having
coming. 37 years of experience.
Yes.
I don't know many people in my life who have stayed at the same organization for 37 years. I think it's impressive on its own.
It's unique, isn't it?
It's unique. What were some of your, biggest takeaways serving for that long? What keeps you so committed, getting up every day and just being an advocate for GRAR?
It's funny because it doesn't seem like it could possibly be 37 years, but the mirror tells me it has been. I actually started at GRAR when I was 17 years old. I was a senior at Hudsonville High School, and I've been in a lot of positions with GRAR over the years. I think that some of the things I most love are the people, and I neglected to mention GRARLA when we were talking about some of the areas that I help out with at GRAR. GRARLA has been a passion project since 2013, its inception. And I think that the reason I love it so much is I'm a people person. And we get to see 20 people come to GRAR each year and participate in monthly activities within the Leadership Academy. And then they go on to serve in leadership roles. And I just have such respect for those folks, and it's great to get to know them. So people are what keeps me coming in every day. The members have become friends. Our staff, we have the best staff. We're tight-knit, they're smart, they're funny, they are hardworking, and they're mentored by Julie Rietberg. And Julie is someone who would never ask us to do something that she isn't willing to do herself. And I think that that is the secret sauce, if you will, when it comes to the longevity amongst our staff. So for me, it's the people, both within our staff and within the membership. It keeps me coming back. I feel like I'm Pam at GRAR. That's my name, Pam at GRAR. Even though my last name changes from time to time.
You are an icon here.
Thank you.
I think if I polled GRAR members, I could get thousands of people to write in and say something really, really lovely about Pam.
Oh, now you're making me blush.
And so I'm going to go a little off script because you took the opportunity to do that. And I did poll a few people.
Oh, no.
So we have 4 directors that have been on the board with me for the last 3 to 4 years who are on their way out. I could only pick a couple, but I chose to have the ones that spent the most time on the board with you. I polled Jason Carpenter and asked for a quote. I would say Pam is an example of professionalism in our industry by always being prepared for all meetings, events, completely knowledgeable in her understanding of topics and issues, exemplary in her communications of all NAR, MAR, GRAR rules, regulations, and standards. Additionally, she's a wonderful human being that's always upbeat, personally interested in our lives.
Oh, that was so kind. I could say the same about Jason.
Mike Childress. Pam has been very instrumental in guiding me, other agents, and the board all throughout my career. She's been invaluable with her knowledge and skill, and has her ability to always see good in everybody, which I think rings very, very true. Mike. Lindy Tanis said Pam has been a tremendous asset to GRAR, to her own experience on the board of directors. Her deep knowledge, patience, calm guidance, especially when I was new and full of questions, have really stood out. She has been an incredible intuition for how things work, genuine kindness to make sure everybody feels heard and supported. I truly am going to miss her presence at meetings and thoughtful insight she brings to every discussion.
Aw, thank you, Lindy.
And last but not least, Chris Keekstra. Pam has been at the heart and culture that makes GRAR great. She's an expert in everything GRAR and is a giver that you can always count on. She makes volunteering at GRAR a great experience, and I love spending time with her at events and conferences because I consider her a friend.
Well, you didn't tell me you were going to make me tear up here, but thank you to all of these folks. And those are the relationships that I mentioned earlier that tug at the heartstrings and make it such a great place to be.
I'm sure there's going to be a half dozen other directors that are mad I didn't get quotes from them. There could be hundreds, if not thousands, of members that would say the same thing. So this is just my way of thanking you for all you do.
I appreciate that. And we appreciate you. Like I said earlier, you have such a commitment to GRAR and in all areas, and in communications, I see that where you really excel, and you want to make sure that everybody is heard from and hears from us, and we just really appreciate your leadership.
Thank you, GRAR members, for tuning in. Look forward to our video next month.
Thank you.